Hey, Mike Phillips down here at 3D Garage. I have the key account manager for Flex North America, Chris Metcalf, one of the nicest and hardest working guys in the industry, and he's going to share something about this little thing. What do we got up here, Chris?
Thanks for having me here today, Mike. I really wanted to highlight the Flex vacuums. We have two different vacuums that we sell, not only to the construction market, but the detail industry as well. This is the VCE 44, and we also have the VCE 33. And there really isn't a video on, I wanted to highlight this because there is not a video on YouTube really going directly to the detailers. And what I'm finding is the detailers have found this unit and have liked this unit. A lot of the detailers I know that have purchased this have actually come back and purchased one or two other ones for their shop and replaced most of their vacuums. This is like a vacuum that really the industry hasn't seen yet. It is a Hepa vacuum. You actually see the classification that we have on the unit, which gives it that true Hepa certification. You know, and a lot of vacuums don't have that, but they say it has a Hepa filter in it.
Yeah.
This is actually certified.
Gotcha.
So we'll get into those filters as we go along here. This does have 4 filters that actually filter the air. And really, I think one of the highlights of this vacuum for a detailer is the fact that if we're doing coatings or we're doing any sort of, paint protectant, the air that is exhausted out of this is cleaner than the air we're really breathing.
So I could turn this on and just let it run as an air filter.
Well, before I got here and before we shot this video, we did clean this out because the person that put it together, which was not Mike Phillips, it was missing the bag. I always recommend you do use one of the filter bags, which is really technically one of our filters when we're talking about 4 filters. But we cleaned it out, and the vacuum, even if we were to turn it on right now, it's not going to blow dust everywhere because it does have that Hepa filter, which is the final filter that filters that air. Mm-hmm. So let's show the first filter here, which is on the side. This is more like a carbon filter, and a lot of people get scared whenever I say there's 4 filters, but this is one of the filters that can just be washed in the sink and literally put back in there and clips back in there. So
is that just to pull the big chunks out?
it pulls the big chunks as it's sucking air in, so any debris that's around the unit, it just kind of gets,
bugs.
it kind of gets that before it goes into the unit.
Large particles of dust.
Exactly, Mike.
Okay.
As we get around to the unit, let's show you all the filters. Let's put the bag in, then we'll turn the unit on and I'll show you the different options that it has. So as you pick this up, that's your motor housing, we call. That has, the main part of the motor, and this is just your canister. The only difference between the VCE 44 and the VCE 33 is the size of the container. This VCE 44 has a 12-gallon container, and the VCE 33 has a 9-gallon container. The nice thing about both these vacuums that we sell here in the US is all of the accessories are actually the same for both units. So even the bag filters are the same for both units.
Gotcha.
And this is how we put this bag filter in. This is one of your main filters that collects anything you're sucking up in the hose. I always recommend you use this, and it just fits right on there.
Gotcha.
Clips into place.
And then when the air comes through, it'll inflate it.
It'll inflate it and kind of fill that cavity up. And even when you do take this off, there is a little door here which kind of closes it off. So as you're carrying it to the garbage can, you don't get dust everywhere.
Nice, well thought out feature.
Once it gets through this bag, it goes to what we call our secondary filter, which is on the back here. Some people say it's under the hood. And like I said, this vacuum he's had for a few years. It did not have a bag in it, but this is a washable filter. Looks like a car filter, and a lot of people comment that, this is just an easy thing. This is really what I call your secondary filter. It's a washable filter, like I said. I usually tell guys to buy 2 of these, Mike. Have an extra one, so when you do wash this, you can set it, in an air-conditioned environment and let it dry out. You do not want to put this back wet. And I also tell people never use this vacuum without this.
Gotcha.
Because then the dust all goes in right into the motor.
In any place where you buy this vacuum, they should have these accessory items.
Exactly.
Okay. I like this little touch, a little bungee built in to hold your cord.
Hold your cord, just keeps it in place, and just something small that just adds a lot to it. So underneath this big orange thing, this is your Hepa filter. I'm not going to take it out because once you take it out, you're supposed to replace it right away. And a lot of times people have taken this filter out. I recommend about every year you replace this if you're using it on a regular basis. And a lot of guys have taken that out and they look at it and they say, wow, it's virtually clean. But the air or the dust that gets collected by the Hepa filter is typically the dust we can't see, which is the bad dust that we breathe. Mm-hmm. So even though it does look clean, still replace that about every year. It's not crazy expensive or anything, but it is kind of an important component to making sure this vacuum works right. So that's all the filters. Putting this guy back on there, fits on easily. Got your 2 clips. And that's basically it as far as the filters and making sure the unit works. Let's turn it on, show you a couple.
It makes a funny sound once in a while.
Sometimes it does, yeah.
If you don't know what that sound is, you might think it was broken.
Right here, Mike. Got you right here, Mike.
Oh, okay. You're energized.
All right, so the unit itself does have 4 different features. That's one of the things that does set the Flex different from any other vacuum that looks similar to this. And like I said, we use it in the construction market or in the body shop market. You at 3D have a palm sander, which is an electric palm sander.
Dry sander, so it's dusty.
Yep. And that works really well with this. You can plug it directly into this, and it'll actually, when we turn it on the tool setting, the unit is actually on now.
Okay.
But unless I have a tool plugged into this, and once I activate the tool, the vacuum turns on at the same time.
Gotcha, interesting. And then this will hook up to the sander.
Yep.
To extract the dust.
Yep, you would hook it up right like that. And then this adapter fits right into your sander. And as you're working with that palm sander, you have one of those palm sanders
Let me
here?
grab one.
Yeah, let's grab one. And while he's looking for that sander, I'll still go through these features here. The 4 different features. When it's on the tool setting here, this does a self-cleaning. When it's here, it turns that self-cleaning off. You don't always need that on. If it's bothering you, you can turn it off. When we go around here, you'll hear it turn on. So that noise, that's giving you back pressure on that filter and knocking any of that dust loose.
Nice.
And I mean, that's the amount of suction that has. Yeah. I mean, it's good. And you saw the dust. I almost wish we would have done a video of all the dust. There's no dust coming out of this unit right now.
No.
And we just had a lot of dust we pulled out of it. So if I don't like the banging, I've got the 4th feature. I can just turn it off. And honestly, I don't know if detailers really need that self-cleaning feature, because a lot of the particles that a detailer is picking up are, sand and different things like that.
French fries, popcorn.
The self-cleaning feature that this has is really for the fine dust that a construction worker would have, or a body shop guy with your sander. So let's show people how that automatic feature works.
Okay. This is our slippery table.
Yeah. So we plug that unit right into there. I'm going to turn it to the tool setting. When he presses that button, it now runs that vacuum. Wow. And when he releases that, and we let the tool turn itself off, this will run for around 8 to 10 seconds. And then the vacuum actually turns itself off. What that's doing for that little extra time is it's just clearing that hose out so you don't have dust in it.
So some kind of microchip, smart chip in there
Yeah.
that knows all this.
Yeah, but I haven't touched the setting. It's still on.
Yeah.
So once again, he just literally pushes that button.
Because you could have just put a switch up there.
Right, exactly.
But-
but it's nice. If you're on the car, you're working, I turn that on, it starts my vacuum, and it runs right away.
And then of course this would attach to the
Yeah.
suction.
Yeah, and in your box and in the kit that you get, there's a way to attach that to the sander very easily.
Gotcha.
But overall, I mean, this is one of the best vacuums that you would have in the detail industry. I think a lot of detailers just don't understand the level of power that this has and really how clean it is. I mean, the one I have in my garage, it's 5 years old. I've been sucking concrete dust, I've been sucking drywall dust, and I can take it in my dining room today and vacuum and it won't get dust everywhere.
Nice.
So,
Well, one thing we all know is Flex makes quality tools. I mean, they are the Mercedes-Benz of tools. They're so good. So yeah, if you got any interest in this, I'm sure there's a way to get more information from...
you can always go to flexpowertools.com, take a look at the products there. This is available through all of our dealers. 3D has this available. You can purchase it directly through 3D or any dealer that you buy Flex products from.
Well, thanks for sharing this incredible vacuum. And I know a lot of guys, you know, guys are tool guys, you know, so this is a tool, and it's a great vacuum, and if you're interested, then get a hold of one.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.